Ezekiel, Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 28. And they shall no more be a prey to the heathens, neither shall the beast of the land devour them, but they shall dwell safely, and none shall make them afraid. I like to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Shemel Shah, Ba'ashem Kakudash, to Wadi Yahweh Shemel Shah for giving us the apostles and the elders of great millstone, deserved of honors, rightfully so. Shalom all to the Akim, pushing the word and sincerity and truth, for being faith-based and being prepared for what is to come. And what is to come? Race wars, famine, concentration camps, the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, 200 million missiles hitting the soil of America. Simultaneously, the church of the Lord to put the hopeful elected to the chambers. Simultaneously, the church of the Lord shooting laser beams at the ungodly and the heathens. Hopefully so. Hey, I'll wrap this all over, take the course of this video, make it edifying, build your faith up, keep you in tune within these latter days. Okay? Because these are the last days, and the people of this society, the people of this world, of this eon, can't comprehend that. They can't see it. Alright? So let's read this verse again. They can't fathom it, you know? They can't, it's not registering. You know, even though we are part of this world, we live, because the Lord said, how do you say, he said, use the word, but don't abuse the world, right? What else he says? Well, that's one. I can't think of the other one, but Yahweh Shah said that he's not of the world and nor is his saints. So I brought this on one of his saints, one of his faithful servants. So Lord willing, this be edifying. And, let's read this verse again. Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 28. And they should no more be a prey to the heathens. Right? We ain't gonna be a prey no more. Because what the scripture said in I do believe Lazarus, he said the dogs would I do believe the dogs would lick our wound. Those dogs represent the heathens. The wounds is our wounds. Because when we are under the captivity of the so-called white man, this is his rulership. Like the scripture said, the earth was given to the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So it's not a question no more. You can't question it no more. Because even the other nations know that the so-called white man rules. Because who's going to everybody else's country, blowing up shit, kidnapping people, kids? These things is happening. But it seems like the people in America is so dumbfounded to this. Like this is not happening. But in the early 80s, late 80s, there was kids on milk cartons. But why these kids was ending up on milk cartons? Now we know why. Because they was being kidnapped by these people that drink blood. But if you speak to these, why would somebody drink blood? That's what they do. The case in point, what's that individual name? Prince Philip. All right, he was a blood drinker. People was telling on him. They was telling on him a while ago. But anybody take heed to it? No, not my faithful prince, right? Or King Philip, his fucking name is Philip. And people was telling him, this is the day of information. And what's helping? Because the Lord said, how much shot knowledge said? He said knowledge will increase. How did knowledge increase? Through, case in point, through the internet, through technology, how fast information is passing across the earth. That's how knowledge has increased. There's no way in hell. Hey, I remember when I first got onto YouTube, when I was first getting into studying, it was vast information. It was so much information, it was overwhelming coming in. But now when you try to search out, go to the search engine, they have the algorithm that certain words you can't type into the search engine. So now what they're doing, they're blocking information. You can't speak against the baby swords. We know what the baby swords represent, right? Right. So these things is happening, and we are no longer gonna be a prey to these heathens, which are the other nations. You know, case if I was at work, you know, um, I was there. I went to this traveling job, and so that's why I stepped in the heathen. I'm gonna call them the heathen, the other nation. But every time they see me, they be so happy to see me, cause they know they can tell that they weaker than me. They they you know the only ones that think that they're weaker than them is our own nation, You know, these other people, they know that they're beneath. They could they, there's a uh how you say I'm saying we have a ruler class mentality. How we conduct ourselves, how we carry ourselves around these individuals, they could tell the difference. And even the 2/3 could look at you and tell that you're different from them. Even though they try to see they can lure you into their shit. You know? Even 2/3 is like heathens to the Lord. Because the Lord said Israel is not of Israel. The elect is not of the rest of Israel. So this world it's a separation in here. There's a class of people. And some people say, "Oh, you're cocky." No, that's confidence in our power. And Yahweh Shem Al Shah. And he's going to explain why we should have this confidence, because he is protecting us. He's telling us right now in this verse, right? It says Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 28. And they shall no more be a prey. Who's not going to be a prey? The Negroes and Hispanics in America right now, the hopeful elect, we ain't going to be a prey. But all in all, the whole nation. Because you could culminate this. But right now, it's going to be the hopeful elect is the only one that's going to make it out of here. At the skin of the chinny chin, at the skin of the chinny chin chin. Because it talks about how the righteous will scarcely be saved. See, it's not going to be easy. This is not an easy mission. Okay? Ain't nothing easy right now. Ain't nothing going, you ain't going to get your way. Things is going to be rough. It's going to be a rough, rocky roller coaster ride. Everybody's going to look at, you can't get a new pair of sneakers in this society while somebody being mad at you. Okay? Everything's going to be everything will be rough. All right? So I'll just go down. All right? But we're not going to be a prey no more. We're going to have everything. All right? And they should no more be a prey to the heathens, neither should the beasts of the land devour them. And I was just thinking about that when I was reading this, right? I was thinking about, I was watching, I don't know, with the 60s, 50s. I remember seeing a girl, a police, not like a regular white person, police sicking dogs on little Negro girls, man. Police, man. Remember the young girl that had the dream about the military trying to rape her? Okay? People that's supposed to be your protection. I was just watching another video. I saw like I'm trying to narrow it down, but they stopping people who's out military. They out stopping people that pass the curfew. You're not safe in your own country, man. It's a lot. I'm all over the place, but I just got like a whole bunch of thoughts just ran through my head. But we ain't gonna be a prey no more, bro. And sisters, because every time this is way before I saw I seen that video back before I had my child. I remember watching that. I think when Martin Luther King and they showed certain scenes. It was a scare tactics, man. You're a prey, man. You was a prey. You know the Yahweh Shema Shah said you're not gonna be a prey anymore. Right? And they should no more be a prey to the heathens. Neither should the beasts of the land devour them. But they should dwell safely. There's no way in hell you could dwell safely without your power, man. Yahweh Shema Shah is the only reason why you're gonna dwell safely. Okay? Alright? You're not gonna be able to do this without your power. You Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans don't have a chance. They are, if Yahweh Shema Shah don't come back, you don't have a chance. The scripture speaks about, again, but wait a minute, another thing I want to say, I'm just throwing it out there right now, because I'm just like, I guess it's a rant video, but probably before I read the scriptures, right? I didn't know these words was in how it's written. I remember my own mother said I put that when I was reading the book to her when I first got the truth, because that's what I did. I did read to my mother when I first. She told me I put the words in the book. Wait a minute. So that's just something that happened to me on my journey to perfection. On this glory road, on this glorious road to perfection. That was just something that happened. I always think about that. But that was after, before I was a little boy, my mom was always telling me, man destroyed the earth. No, God destroyed the earth with water, but man is going to do it with fire. When she was always saying to me, I was like, how the man going to do it with the whole earth with fire? But now it's not the whole. It's the It's going to be shot. The majority of the earth going to be hit with missiles, bombarded with missiles. But the place that's going to be literally destroyed is America. See, when all these things happen, we out of here. The hopeful Abraham one of those men. We out. We up on those ships. We on those ships, looking down at the fire through the glass. The glass is the ozone layer. Everything makes sense now. Being taught correctly, understanding, because my mom didn't have to understand the book. So when she said it to me, I said, "What you talking about? How I put it?" She was saying, "I put the words in the book." I always think about that, man. I just I said, "Mom, how I do that? How I put the words in the book, Mom?" Salaki, that's when you first get in, you go to the main source that